Hi, missed you since I saw you
Hi.
yesterday.
I know it's been hours. Okay,
What I
so
missed.
we had my friend went to a Halloween party. He was here last week. We met up. And he was like, "I want to be Pooh Bear, and I'm just gonna get a red shirt and write courage on it and have a honey pot." And I was like,
Excellent.
"Courage? What do you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, that's what Pooh Bear's shirt says." I'm like, "It definitely, objectively does not say courage."
The way I was going with it, I just was like, "Oh, yeah, it says courage for sure, right?" I
I
okay.
His does.
Proceed.
Um, I was googling it. No, the answer's no.
It's not?
It's
What's on
not.
his shirt?
But he could it's just red, it's just plain.
Okay, got it.
So, maybe it's a Mandela
I
effect
was
thing.
just gonna say it's a Mandela effect, and I was in the courage. It's if you're a uber softie, you're in the courage poo shirt world.
Whether even if you didn't see it, you just need that to be
Yeah,
true.
no, it's someone somewhere in the angelic realm was like, "This girl needs it."
This girl needs it. So, this is him in his Pooh Bear glare.
And he went with courage.
So, I'm like, "What's in your bucket? What's in the honey bucket?" It's meats, cheeses, and breads.
Real ones, not like prop ones. You know what? We should all consider Halloween costumes where we're carrying around meats and cheeses.
What can you come up with that will involve meats and
Do
cheese?
you understand that I know 2 people this season who dressed up as a charcuterie board, and I'm not kidding.
No
So,
way.
that's a first step. It's an answer.
Do
I
you
don't
have a
know how
photo?
I don't know how live, the meats and cheeses were. The photos I have are, like, on a work email somewhere, so I'll have to send it to you afterwards, but, like, I think they were prop meats and cheeses for these costumes. It was, like, their whole
Amazing.
center was a circle, the board, and then it was just I was the first one I saw was, like, a work one at the that you would, like, email, respond to who wins the employee costume contest, gagged. Then my other friend just had a picture online, also charcuterie. I was like,
No.
speaking of the Mandela effect timeline, it's just like, do you like meats and cheeses on your
Yeah.
friends?
On your friends?
We have 3 examples from yesterday, which is really, really cool.
And we ate charcuterie last night
Yeah, we did.
because of
Thanks
course we did.
thanks for that.
When
Anyone
you first
listening,
started saying that and you were like, "I don't know if they were real meats and cheeses," I'm like, I imagined just someone stapling cheese and ham to their T-shirt.
correct. No, that's what we're gonna do next year and then have a little roadie, a little snack.
Live meats and cheeses that we just rip off the staple.
And then someone, like, tries to grab one, and I'm like, "I'm being sexually assaulted."
And they're like, "What are you?" And you're like, "I'm a Taurus."
Do you actually know
I
your
just have
Mercury?
snacks.
Do you know your Mercury and Mars? Like, they're just like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, and
Oh, I thought you were asking me for real. No,
I
play
saw
on
you
joke.
think that, and I'm like, "We could go in that direction." It's like, you know
We'll get
what?
there.
Just going with it. Yes, anding the astrology. Okay, I hear word on the street from a little birdie named Ashley. There was some tarot card pulled yesterday.
Yes.
What? What's the
Yes.
sitch? I'm very interested.
Okay,
Or an
so
oracle card, whatever, a card.
yes, it was a tarot card. Well, to bring everyone up to speed, last time before we started the podcast, we were just chatting because as soon as we get on, we're going to start chatting.
Yeah,
And we decided now we just have to hit record before we even do the intro. And we'll do the intro somewhere in the middle of the podcast.
literally, you're in it.
Literally. Because we had this great conversation that we were like,
Damn.
that should have been a part of it. And we were talking about tarot readings, oracle pulls, everything in that world of cards, and how beautiful and symbolic and spiritual those experiences can be, and how also if you've got some anxiety on your mind or something that's just like subconsciously there, your body's mechanics are also involved in pulling the cards, and as soon
Yes.
as it sees something, it's going to pull on that fear. Like, it's not always that,
Yeah.
and something Kelsey said that I just love is like, if it's not it's like, if it's not calm, it's not from your guides or source. Like, those
Yeah.
messages that come in, even the heavy hard ones, they're very soft and they don't feel like panic and anxiety.
Right. They feel
So
expansive and,
they
like,
feel good, like,
settled.
okay,
Yeah. Like, you know what? That is true.
settled is
That
a good
resonates.
word.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were talking about that because we both had bad card pulls last week. She had a tarot reading that was just fucked.
It's just
I
like,
don't know
"Let's
if we
blow your life
can we
up."
swear on this pod or no?
Yeah. It's our pod.
It's our pod. I think Spotify likes it better if we don't, but
No, the algorithm doesn't want that, but technically.
We could beep it out. We'll talk
Okay.
about it offline.
See you
So
then.
so she had a bad
Me.
reading. I pulled myself a bad card. Anyways, so we were talking about it in that context. Well, yesterday at this Halloween party, I set up a little witch station for people to write down what they were releasing, light it in a flame, and then pull a tarot card. And this morning, I was just looking at the loose cards because I'm nosy. I wanted to know what people pulled.
Ooh.
And there was like a few loose. First one was the tower, and I was like, "Oh no, someone's unwell."
Someone left your party like, dang, man.
Yeah,
I should have just stuck
and
with cheese.
I shouldn't have come over here. I was good with beer pong and cheese. So I messaged. It was my first guess actually. I messaged someone. I was like, "Hey, what card did you pull last night?" And she's like, "Tower." I was kind of panicked.
Ooh.
So yeah, it was rough. So she had set an intention to release negativity toward her husband. And
Oh,
I wish so good, like such a good,
like, I'm just gonna be all love, man. That's cute.
yes, so cute, and like brought in someone else, love it. But then reading, like I read the description that was in the little book I had out, and it was like destruction, despair, crumbling. Like the tower is that, very much is that. But I pulled her a couple extra cards, and I'm like, look, it could just be that it's gonna be a big upheaval or it's gonna like pull on some other strings. Like, please don't panic. Please don't
Yeah.
panic. So it was nothing huge. I was just like, speaking of,
It's a good friend thing to do to be like, let me give you some clarifiers if you're gonna feel nervous.
yes.
Honestly, Tower in that lens could just be like it's a complete resurrection of their relationship that is a
Mm.
more high vibe paradigm, like honestly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just hard if you pull it and you're nervous. To be
Yeah.
honest, I don't pull that many cards because I run neurotic. So and same with like current astrological transits, I don't try to figure it out every single day to think like
Mm.
I have this big, I don't know, presentation or date or whatever coming up, and then I have these terrible transits. Like I don't need that in my head.
No.
But then there's a balance because sometimes it's nice to kind of take the magic of the universe or whatever.
Right.
So
Right. I feel that way about cycle syncing. Like I don't want to know and be like, "Oh, I can't plan anything. I'm in my luteal," because like I told you last night, I will lay down for 18 hours. When really like I have energy. But it is nice to, if I'm feeling that way, to go check my app or whatever and be like, "Okay, like it makes
yeah.
sense. Like I don't need to be so neurotic and hard on myself
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for just being in something that I was meant to be in."
I'm literally grinning because I can't remember if we talked last pod about the lunar cycle, but it's just like the thing bringing me joy right now.
The lunar cycle and the sun cycle.
Yeah, that's good. We've been talking a lot about it, guys, because like we've been talking about the masculine being on a solar cycle, just being more equipped for how our societal like stress constructs are set up, where you're like working every day, you're having to continue to make progress. There's not like tons of
Mhm.
space for integration and rest for most people collectively right now. But trying to get to my lunar cycle is basically the TLDR. Where I can be like, oh, this day I'm resting. That's just like hilarious to me. For 36 years, I haven't rested to be like,
I
the
can rest.
moon.
How posh.
No, it's so elegant. It's so elegant.
It is.
One more thing about elegance is my favorite color's been pink my whole life. I literally am Barbie.
Barbie.
My back pillow for my old age, my computer chair says Barbie. But for 1 year in my kindergarten little book, class booklet said, "What's your favorite color?" And I said black because it's elegant.
Who inspired that? It was some Olympic girly pop.
So my bun, there's a period, guys,
That's
where
right.
I don't know if I would have to check the year, but when Tara Lipinski, this teeny little figure skater, won the surprise gold at whatever Olympics that she outperformed, I think Michelle Kwan. She had this very like this like middle part slick back bun. Or
Queen.
maybe it was a middle part. Either way, slick back bun, stunning, gorgeous, elegant. She's still so gorge and just so that girl. Like to this day, she does commentary for Olympic things. And I was like, Mom, we have to put my hair in this bun. And for a year straight, I wore a slick back bun and black and was just like her. Now I got my crazy hair and my pink. So, sometimes you grow up and get like that.
Yeah.
Welcome to Parallel Paths.
Guys, welcome. Intro music.
We don't have any intro music yet, so that's what you get.
Yeah.
a podcast where two people get really wise and funny because of trauma. Is that what we're
Yeah.
going with?
I think that's what we're going with. Someone actually asked me today what it was about, and I'm like, it's mostly girl chat, but then we talk about how life is spiritual and how also it's okay to just be a human. And I was like, you know
Correct.
what? That's true. And that's our
Correct.
friendship.
That is our friendship. Literally
That's our
just like
friendship.
everything we're talking about is a joke and also very, very spiritual, which is kind
Yes.
of like everybody if you think about it.
The most serious it can get and the most none of this means anything you can get.
Correct, correct. That's why I struggle at work where I'm like, I'm very ambitious and I take my like my dissolving corporate career very seriously. We should get to that. Speaking of the tarot reading last week,
We should get to that.
what I want to talk about today is my vulnerability or lack thereof and the dissolving of my last 20 years of effort. But that's other than that, just jokes. But yeah, like when I'm at work working really hard, there's like part of myself that's like business strategy, leadership, and let's execute this, and I know exactly what to do. And the part of me that's like, this is so made up. Go hug your family, everyone.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And like same thing if everyone's freaking out like at a line. It's just like we're literally like in 100 timelines and other dimensions. Imagine this line mattering,
Yeah.
right?
Which kind of makes me think about last week how you were talking about your split definition and like part of you is
Mm.
so in this and so what's the word? Not heady, but
Grounded, like
ha-
integrated, earthy.
yeah, and like just intelligent and knowing and deep and like okay, there are actual numbers and things we can do and things we can change and we can make this grow and we'll see the real life, real world concrete change, but then
Mhm.
also like I don't know if I care.
Truly not.
I
In the
could go be
office
hugging Ollie.
in the office, I'm like, "I'm a hippie. I like my dog. I don't care about this." And then, like, just lock in for a sec and drive things forward, and I'm sure that's so irritating to people who, like, made their identity being all one thing, you know? But I'm like, "I don't know, if y'all want me to help, this is what you
That's
get."
probably a great trigger for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a woman and that, both
Yeah.
I was
Being
on a work
everything.
call this past week where they were, like, freaking out because some guy couldn't say some phrase he wanted to because it's, like, very sexist, and it was I don't know what he just panicked, and I was like, "You could, but now it's so much weirder," and then called me Elle Woods, and I was like, "Man, we have you ever talked to a woman before?"
And that was the last movie he has seen about feminism.
He saw Pink and was like, "Ugh."
I have to say this.
I'm at work. Oh my god, I can't. But speaking of that, guys, the card pull that we didn't discuss last week was that this tarot reader at my Halloween block party, she
That was at a
pulled some
Halloween block party.
yeah, isn't that so iconic?
Yeah.
It's a woman on my block who Halloween's her holiday, and she's a movie set like the set designer or producer, whatever they call it. So she
Okay.
makes like these set pieces and
So
hires like
cool.
entertainment on her little cul-de-sac and then gets permissions from the whole cul-de-sac to shut the street down and gets these big blockades and then does it big. I'm like, we should all find one thing that we love like that. For me, it's Valentine's Day. I love Valentine's Day. I never have a partner, so everyone's like, that's so sad. And I'm like, wow, you don't know the spirit of Valentine's Day then?
Yeah.
Imagine love and pink and
Come to my
expressing
block party and I'll teach
I'm
you.
I'm gonna make a block party for Valentine's Day and just be
I'll be
like, we
there.
all just write letters about what we love about each other and the world. I think that'd be fun.
That'd be
And then
so
make little heart
fun.
cookies and be like, okay, now if you don't have anyone that comes to mind, we'll do self-love letters next. And then they get stickers and glitter. Yeah. Okay.
And glitter.
But yes, at the Halloween block party, the tarot reader was like, by the way, I say tarot and tarot interchangeably. And someone on TikTok was like, a what reader? Because I said tarot and I was like, oh my God, calm
Read
down.
between the lines.
Have you heard both? Or like, I've heard tarot
Only
before.
from you, but
I
I
know
love
that's what
it.
I'm like, where did I
It
get
makes me
it?
like lock in doubly. I'm like,
Very
tarot.
elegant,
Yeah.
very elegant.
Very elegant.
Long story short, the tarot reader basically was talking about the energy in the place where my job is that I just took is like so stressful and dense. And then I had like, I would never take advice from a tarot reader, but I would definitely have like an intellectually honest conversation with myself about that path as a
Mm.
result of getting such a stark reading. Cause this woman
Hmm.
wasn't giving everyone like traumatic readings. She was just like truly locked in it being like, you are traveling to your demise, lady.
No.
And then after I had that conversation, I was like, yeah, actually choosing stress over and over and a lack of support and misalignment isn't the greatest idea. So I've been all day just thinking about, like, the grief of, like, 20 years of my life, and then not that it was for nothing, like, of course, I get that it's, like, every experience leads to something
Right.
amazing in the future, but it's still, like, I think there was a part of me that didn't consciously consider, like, a true, like, stark ending in the, like, near term until, like, this past week, and then I'm like, "Wow, that's a huge thing."
Yeah.
It's so stark. Yeah, I guess I'm just telling all of us this just to be, like, where I am in this very moment, 'cause I and the same thing with my propensity towards vulnerability, like, I wanna come in and be like, "I'm so excited for next year, it's gonna be amazing, I have this big plan," but I'm like, I'm a little bit, like, on my bottom.
If you will.
See, it's not swearing.
Yeah.
With it. And I don't like not having, like, my whole life sorted and, like, total
Mm,
rigid, like, positivity and a
mm.
solution plan. I'm just like, "Everything will be fine, I'll land on my feet," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I have to,
And
like,
it's
in short
also
order quit the career I built for 20 years." Okay.
yeah. Does it feel, like, grief-y? Like, "Oh my gosh, that version of me and who I was in all those places is, like, dying in me?" Or is it different?
You know, I this might be too like, I guess it's not too vulnerable. It's like an early thought, but I was trying to get to the bottom of it because I don't have an ego attachment to like power, right? Like a big corporate finance executive
No.
job. It's not that. So I'm like, all right, what's the ego attachment that is dissolving that feels so dense? And I think it's just like this career as like a woman that's very witchy is so unique. And I had this ego attachment to like, I have some worth that people can understand. It's like this palatable worth I have where I'm like, this
Mm.
thing about me is so unique. So here's something like now love me because of that. And I'm like, in my intellectual mind, I'm like, that's not a reason why people would think that I'm special or unique, especially like a romantic partner. Like, speaking of men liking power, which is a lyric in the current Florence Machine album, like that men don't really like power in women. I don't think my career has helped me in my dating life at all. But in the recesses of my subconscious, it's been like, see, there's something about me that not everybody has. That's cool, right? Literally,
Yeah.
like, not even attached to reality because I don't think my career has helped. But I've been like, what is it that's making me feel so scared about detaching from that part of my identity? And I'm like, I think it's just this way that I felt special, and I
Mm.
wanna feel special some way so that, like, people will like me and I'll have something that's not just the same as everybody else.
Are you
But
talking uniqueness of being both the hippie girl and the CFO as one, or the uniqueness of being a female CFO? Or, like,
I
what's the piece that you feel like is
Yeah, I think
falling out
kind of both, although
or
the
coming
first
up?
one is like, will see me in my future be like an analytical, ambitious person that's like very structured and like in flow. So not as much that it's more like I did something remarkable. Like I built a very,
Mm,
very
it's in the
successful
tangible
career
world. Yeah.
so quickly, and I have, like, almost no one can get there, especially not
Mm.
super quickly, and, like, "See, I'm worth something." The whole point of all my ambition is really nothing like, 'cause left to my own devices, I just wanna sit and cuddle my dog, and my future dream is to just have a horse that, like, we really are telepathically connected. Like, this is pretty much my life dream, is to have, like, a husband that I love and some friends that I love and a horse. Like, that's it's not really something I need to be so remarkable for, but I think there's this part of me that's like, well, at least I can matter because I'm remarkable in this way,
Mm.
and in this way that the collective world gets, like, this really prestigious career, people get as remarkable. Me being able to, like, psychically attune people's energy is not that remarkable to most people I come across, but it's not remarkable to me to have a career that's completely counter to my soul, so I'm, like, just unwinding this now
Yeah.
that I'm finally there. I'm sure I'll get there, but I'm like, "Why do I feel, like, devastated?" And I'm like, "This is truly an ego death," and I didn't think I would
Oh,
have such an ego death because I don't have ego associated with power. I have ego associated with, like, being remarkable in this
remarkable.
way, which
I
I'm
love that.
still remarkable when I wasn't ever remarkable or whatever you wanna say, but yeah, like, God, why is life so nuanced?
Why is life so nuanced?
Can we
I
just a Barbie
I love
cuddle?
that you were talking about, like, well, one, that you're sitting with it and that things are coming up, because this theme has been coming up. I've been seeing it a lot in me and around me of, like, feeling fear versus just doing it and bullheading through it or ignoring it and then feeling regret. Like, you are
Mhm.
moving through this pain and this like part of you that feels vulnerable and feels like it's going to be lost. And simultaneously, another piece that was really cool that you brought up is like, I know that it's not. I know that like what matters to me is what's remarkable to me.
Mhm.
And I'm sitting there listening to that and I'm like, well, it's way more remarkable that you can like be psychic with people, but like
Thanks, girl. Oh my
that's
god,
what
thank
makes us
God.
friends.
No,
Yeah.
literally, if you think that too, comment. I need it. I need it now.
We external validation is not bad. I love it.
Correct. Correct.
But that like what was I listening to the other day? I think it was the book I'm reading, which is The Mountain Is You, and it's not even a long book, but it's so pungent and punchy that I can only listen to like a half a chapter a day, and then I come back and listen to the half of the half and go forward, and
Cute.
like I'm just it's so much. Um but where was I going with that? She was talking about like knowing something mentally. I just clocked myself. It wasn't that book, but I guess that needed to be said about that book. Phenomenal book. It
Great.
was
No,
my
great book.
therapist.
Book club coming up.
Book
100%.
club next. I actually am reading it for a book club. That's funny. It was my therapist that was talking about this. Like, you can know. She was asking what messaging from your past is still impacting you today. And I was
Mhm.
like, "Oh, good question." Like, I've done this writing before. I was surprised at what came up around what we were talking about, which I'm not going to like derail into, but I'm reading them and I'm like, "I know these aren't true." And she's like, "Well, of course you know they're not true cognitively, but like rewiring your mind is so different than the version of you before you ever met or came fully into like self-awareness and growth and stuff that
Totally.
experienced these wounds for the first time. Like it's still in your body. It's still somatic. There's still, if we get into IFS, interfamily system stuff, there's still some age, version, or even just emotion in you that's like, hey, see me. It's just an opportunity to move through that and learn from it and get whatever you're going to get from it that you're already starting to get.
Totally.
To that, I say kudos, and I'm
Yeah.
here along the whole journey, and I love you, and we'll keep breaking it apart. You've
Dude,
got months.
literally month. By the way, like in 2 seconds I move through things, but I'm honestly just
True.
practicing being more communicative to people, which is a great place to start on a podcast. While I'm in something though, I have this propensity.
Mm,
I'm curious your relationship with vulnerability. I have like such a propensity to work through everything solo.
yes.
I have very
Yes.
seldomly had a partner even to like it's not even like, oh, just not with everyone, but I have my little safe person at home. It's like, no. When I'm upset, I sit in silence in the dark being like, "I feel like I hear the electricity. It's loud in here," and process and, like, breathe, and I've always have. I'm the
Mm,
extreme solitary, and I move very quickly through my things, but I'm like, I'm trying to call in more for this next phase of my life, like, more support, more being seen, more this, more that, and I'm like so I was thinking even all day, I'm like, "Is this something I'd bring up in the pod?" I'm like, "No," because I would
a
my natural state would be like, just bring up, like, some cheery, wonderfully helpful, you know, comment or a theme, but I'm like, that's not really conducive to being seen. And so I spent some time thinking about like the concept of vulnerability for all of us. Like, why is
mm,
it so freaking hard? And
mm.
how do we get to like a place more collectively where speaking about things while they're happening vulnerably doesn't turn into like you're hysterical or like I'm gonna go solve it for you
Yes.
or now I feel weird that you're having a bad day and like I don't like saying something if someone's gonna later be like, "Oh my god, are you okay?" Because they've never heard me say I was sad. I'm like, "Oh, I'm also fine. Like I'm a
Yeah.
human." What's your
Yeah.
relationship with vulnerability and sharing?
I feel so similar and especially lately. So LOL at our parallel path there.
Hey,
Ah!
TM,
Podcast
TM,
name.
TM, TM.
TM, TM. I brought all this up also in therapy. Like, I just feel like I need to, specifically in my relationship with my partner, like, if I'm going to bring something up or I'm having some emotion or something feels discord with him, like I feel like I need to work through my feelings and know what I need from him first. I can be vulnerable in retrospect. I was feeling this and I needed this. So next time, can you do this? And it's all like I'm alone in that while it's the
Mhm, mhm,
suffering
mhm.
because a couple reasons, I think. And I'm sure there's going to be so much more as I untie this knot. Always goes back to childhood. That's like therapy 101. I, as a Scorpio moon, very emotional. I was not brought up in a house that was, one, emotionally open as
Mhm.
or it being rewarded, but two, simultaneously, and like this is a weird dichotomy, my dad was very emotional, and so we were always
Mm,
like, how do we respond to his emotions? How do we make sure he's okay? And so I just went through things on my own and that worked
yeah,
for me.
yeah,
And then as it needed to come up and out, because eventually it does, right? I would get the feedback of, here's what you should do, or whatever else it was. It just didn't work. I did it better on my own. It was easier and safer to like build these constructs or go
yeah,
into depression to just like
like, withdraw and
sit
you're like,
in
"Got it."
my
Shell.
cocoon. And I always figured it out. But I'm like, okay, obviously it's not working because there's these things that I want in my life and out of my relationships, and I want closer friendships that require vulnerability in the moment. And so right now it's this journey of, which we talk about, like community, finding community and people that are so safe. Like I know I can tell you something and you're not going to be like, well, here's what you need. Or, oh my gosh, you're fucked. Like, I'm so sorry. You're unwell.
Like, "Oh my god, yeah, you should get, like, a coach and a therapist and a
Yeah.
bunch of psychiatric medicine now."
Yes. And it feels scary, but that reward is like our closeness, mine and
Yeah.
Kyle's closeness, like just this bond. I think it's just I'm starting to build this evidence that it's okay to just be vulnerable in it without needing to fix it. And that's
Mhm,
also
mhm.
really cool that like it doesn't have to be fixed. Did I answer your question or did I
Yeah,
just
totally. Yeah, you're
cool?
basically saying we're on a parallel path, which
Yeah.
it was not a setup to talk about
Not a
our
setup.
podcast maybe. No, I like the building evidence thing. It's like, let's just try on a new way of interacting and interrelating and then see how that goes. And the discernment on who's safe is important though. Maybe I'm just like
Yes. And
extra
takes
traumatized
time.
by reactions to things, but it's just because I so seldomly ever even mention anything that I'm the slightest bit upset about, that if I say anything, there's certain people that have known me from, I mean, imagine if you've known me for years and years and years, and then suddenly I'm like, I'm having a sad day. And you're like, "Ah,
You've
what are
never
we?"
been sad.
Literally that. Cool. That's interesting. All right, one more thing. New segment called "Things That Came Up While We Were Among Other People," but I want to talk to you more about.
Things that came up while we were among other people. I'm
That I want to
ready.
talk to you more about. I said I remember people or consider people in my brain space from their energetic like blueprint, and you're like,
Yes.
me too. Discuss.
Yes.
I'm so fascinated.
For me, I don't know that it's energetic blueprint, but as you were saying that, I just thought like vibe, their energy, right? And maybe that's just not my term for it. I don't feel like I see it the way you see it. Like, do you actually visually see a
Honestly,
spiritual?
it's more like my claircognizance, like, I just
Yes.
instantly know, like, the one pager of all the little things that make them them, and then that,
Mm,
like, goes yeah, so maybe it is similar.
I like that. I think I needed a definition for
Okay.
blueprint. Like, what does
Glad we
blueprint
got there.
define? Okay, so it's a one pager, spark notes of who they are and what vibe that is.
Yeah, and, like, kind of the things that I've claircognizantly picked up on them, so not necessarily that they said, like, "I have this propensity to do blah because of this other thing in my childhood and my energetic propensity to, like, be action-oriented or passive or whatever," like, all the little data points are not necessarily what they've told me, but it's, like, what I know about them from what they've told me, and then what I know about them psychically just goes all
Mm,
together, and that's their blueprint.
and that's their blueprint, and it's in a cute little
It's
package.
just like it how does yours
Okay,
work?
so mine is the image that comes up is like the seed of life, which is really
Ooh.
just a big Venn diagram, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're just like these overlapping bubbles. And people are that. Like, I can see you overlapping with my friend Fiona in this area, and Kendall overlapping with you in another, and Kendall and Fiona overlapping in another. And I'll misremember something about Fiona that was actually you because it's in that same overlap where the energy is the same.
Dude, that's
But
exactly how what happened
is it the
yesterday.
same? Okay.
So,
Okay.
for context, everyone listening, was saying something to my friend in front of Ashley, then I was like, "Wait, that wasn't Ashley, that was somebody else, but it just the superimposition of you 2 in this certain way, like, was in my brain, and I was like, "That was a totally different person, sorry." Yeah, but it's exactly that.
Yes. That's exactly, and you have people that, like, overlap, right? But then there's people that would never,
Yes.
the way you know them or experience them, like, I would never be like, "Oh, I thought I told Kelsey that, but it was actually my brother."
Yeah.
There's no,
Yeah, 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 that's so
Okay,
wild. I wonder if
so
that's like a lot of people.
if you experience that, will you comment or how
Please.
you see it?
Yeah.
'Cause the whole, like, you talking about the blueprint and then the Venn diagram thing, I was like,
Yeah.
the visuals are coming in.
Language.
So
Yeah.
cool.
That's epic. Dang, I like
Epic.
that. Love people and, like, love how we are all right? We're all expressing, like, archetypes all the time,
Mm.
and so it's wild across time how people just can kinda be sorted in boxes, which is kind of reductive, like, obviously, they don't totally
Yeah,
overlap, but it's like it's
but that's how our
so
brains work.
I once talked to this photographer friend of mine that was saying, like, wedding photography was so interesting for a while, but then he started to see archetypes of relationships, and he did engagement photos too, so he would do, like, engagement and then their wedding day, and would basically be able to tell from, like, how they communicated with each other at the engagement photo, like, how everything would go throughout all of his relationship with them and, like, how the relationship kinda was, and then ultimately he would have, like, a guess if they would stay together or not, like, it became so clear, and then he was like, "It was so fascinating, like, these interpersonal relationship dynamics, da 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 da, like, this beautiful art, all these different things," and then after a while, it just became, like archetypes, and it
Yeah.
kind of funneled into, like, "Alright, now I'm getting bored of this," because
Mm.
it's like
It's
which I
become
don't
so
think humans
logical and,
are
like, I know how this is gonna go kinda thing.
yeah, it made me think that I mean, I gotta get a boyfriend first, but I'm like, I'm gonna be so chill on the engagement photo day knowing this, like,
Super,
we
super
are so in
good.
love.
I have heard that couples that, oh, I'm gonna botch the percentage, but it was crazy. Couples that shove the cake in each other's face, it was like 80% chance of divorce. And then weeks later, I probably should say who. I saw someone I know's wedding, someone I'm related to's wedding.
Okay, I'm
I
scared,
have
I'm
a
scared.
huge family. That points to no one. There could have been 6 weddings last month.
Literally anybody,
Yeah.
anyone.
Hello, I'm Mormon.
She honestly might have misremembered this wedding from someone else
Yeah.
with the energy blueprint. Yeah,
This
so
is all alleged. The cake shoving was, like, mean,
oh,
and everyone
no.
was laughing, but it was like they were divorced within 2 months, and I was like,
2
2
months?
months, 2
Oh my lord.
months."
I would be very, very not cool with the cake thing. That
No,
would
I
not
asked
fly.
Kyle, I was like, we're getting married, it's been a fun day." I even kinda, like, teed him up to say, because 'cause I'm messing with him, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
like, "Dang,
really
girl,
wanted to know.
oh,
I'm like,
watch out."
we're having a fun wedding, like, vibes are fun, we go to do the cake. Is it romantic or is it putting cake in my face? And he was like, "No, that's romantic." I was like,
Aw.
"Good.
Okay, listen,
Yeah.
engagement photo day, lovey-dovey, good cake exchange at the wedding, you're set for life, is
Yes.
basically that's the wedding book that I will sell for 111 to
For
a copy.
111,
Today is November 1st. Sorry if the edit this is way later.
11/1. You'll see it 12/15. We haven't edited
Famously,
either of these.
the date is an energetic blueprint, and it is whatever day really close to when you're watching this. But I
Yep.
was like, "This is fun. Let's pick like a" actually, maybe that's too much pressure because I don't have anything in my head. I was like, "It's a new beginnings, 111
Ah,
portal."
I love that.
What do we want a new beginning on?
We individually or we as a podcast?
Whatever comes to your head.
Okay. Stopping and smelling the flowers.
Ooh,
That's my new beginning.
interesting.
Less rush, more
Lunar cycle.
serenity, more real lunar cycle,
Well,
more real.
real rest. A we were talking about it last night. MRR, then we are like MR squared. Because if you're resting, but you're worrying about what you have to do the next day or what you're not doing, it's not resting. That's what we concluded. I
Yes.
do like that. Also, when we were in your energy doing Reiki, it was like that, like total. rigid
Yes.
stoicism, like every moment is the present was gonna be helpful for you. Yeah, that's cool.
Mhm.
Mine's
Mhm.
definitely, like, a lot more surrender to ambiguity, where I'm just like, I have this interesting relationship with that I have such high agency, and I make things happen all day, every day. Like, I really am so capable of taking action and being in my masculine, but then I also really believe that, like, the balance of fate and free will, there's, like, a lot of fated things or,
Mm.
like, your soul wants to learn these certain things, and your guides are helping, and there's, like, so much more than you, so I'm like, I've always been trying to seek more surrender, especially even in my, like, astrological nodes. I'm supposed to be moving towards surrender, but I'm like, I'm gonna
Ah,
keep doing that. Like, all right, as soon as I start to get into my, like, high agency mode, like, okay, well, things are gonna shift for me. What should I do? I'll tee myself up for success. Be like, I know once we get there, I will be working towards success. Just trust that we can integrate, like, the energy of it before. And
yes.
then for the pod, probably getting community, right?
Yeah. Getting started. Posting our first
Literally a single
podcast.
person giving a shit about giving a hoot about
A
this.
hoot. I don't give a hoot. That's funny. I like hoot.
Dude, I'm gonna try so hard not to swear, it's gonna be when I was
Uh,
nannying when I was younger, I was like, "Holy guacamole," like, all day long, and the kids were
oh
just
my
like,
heck. What the
if I
heck?
have to hear "Holy guacamole" again, I will die. Like, those kids were like, "Please, Kelsey."
Stop it. And you're like, with your bun. Holy
Meanwhile, like,
guacamole.
the mom, like, quit her job and was just there all summer, and I was like
Wait, who? In your classroom?
the mom of the kids I was nannying quit her
Oh,
job and was just perpetually home, and I was like, "I'm so uncomfortable." And sometimes she'd be like, "Well, I'll just drive us to swim lessons." I'm like, "Why am I
why
driving?
am I here? Why am I here?
Holy guacamole! Let me just
Amazing.
let one thing go right here." Cool, alright, I like those intentions. Any exciting, interesting things you want to share before we hop off?
I have a question, actually. I have a follow up question.
Ooh,
Okay,
yeah.
so you said for your new beginning, it's almost this like recommitting or remembering of that like surrender.
Mhm.
So what about it feels new or like tell me about the recommitting piece of it. Like why do you feel like it came up again as this new piece, right? But it's this maybe cycle? Maybe cycle's not the word. Is my
Yeah.
question clear enough to answer?
I'm gonna try to answer, and if I'm on a
Okay.
totally different path that is parallel,
If I get perpendicular, let me know.
yeah, I think because I kinda had this, like, weird projection about this new job, which was in another state, so I was, like, thinking, "I'm gonna be locking into this for a little while. It's kind of familiar." And I also had this kind of weird correlation in my head and my subconscious that I was gonna, like, meet a partner out there, which is pretty delusional for me because 'cause I've gone years and years without having, like, a marriage partner lined up and not really worried about it, but I don't know. So then I'm just with this dissolution where I'm like, I'm probably not gonna take that route. Now, before I took that job, I spent a lot of time, the past few years especially, being much more surrendered. Like, things kept blowing up, and I was very, very calm about it. I
Mm.
really had integrated, and I have integrated the belief that the universe is always conspiring in our favor. And so, like, really, like, crazy lore, shocking things would happen, and I could pretty quickly be like, "Yeah, yeah, this is the universe conspiring in my favor." I think just a number of things had gone kinda wrong, and then I took this huge reset, and I did all this energy work, and I actually truly rested, TR squared,
Mm,
for a while, like infinitely longer than I ever had. So then I like took this new step, and for some reason I had this expectation reattached to this step, whereas before this big rest, I was like, everything is just gonna blow up and like watch me be polished and normal and surrender to it. Like it's cool. I'm just gonna take it day by day and be cheery and be a high vibe. And then just for some reason I had this attachment to like this next step being something that would result
mm,
in something else, like, either, like, some big culmination of my career that I'd be, like,
mm,
bowing and be like, "Thank you, everyone. Good night. I did everything I ever wanted to accomplish, and now I'm off to just bask in the sunset, and I'm gonna have this husband," and, then I just realized when literally this no, not really the tarot reader at the Halloween block party, but after I spent some real time tuning into
mm,
how I got further from reality, like, I got really ahead of myself with what was gonna happen and it got attached to that, that I was like, "Oh, alright." So this whole surrender to, like, the universe is conspiring in my favor, I don't need to and part of my clearing meditation every day is the universe is always conspiring in my favor even if it doesn't seem like it today. Because I'm
mhm.
like, whatever is happening today is still conspiring in my favor. So I just have to get back to that, which I can. I was just like shocked at how quickly I got like, hopeful for something good to happen.
Which is so sweet because one thing I know about you is you also believe that it goes right along with that. At
Mhm,
any moment, you can meet your person. At any
mhm.
moment, your life can change. And so why would you not be like, this is a whole new opportunity and a whole new state with whole new people and all new energy. Why would you not be
Yeah.
excited? Why would you not have that hope, Like,
Totally. I mean, it's
that's so
beautiful to get
real.
excited, but I'm trying to get back to, like, well, what if my life stays exactly as is and I'm in the same city I've been in for a few years and I'm actually building on, like, the beautiful relationships I've
Mm,
fostered? It's just as likely
it's
that
not new,
someone
something
could pop
new.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
someone actually said, like, "What's your impulse to always, like, change your life?" And I'm like,
Ooh,
"Drag."
fudge. That's
Drag.
crazy.
So, yeah, I think that was it. I think it's just getting back to,
Beautiful.
like, all right, I wanna be in a state where I'm, like, so excited for magic to pop in and very aligned with because truly, I could go to the grocery store right after this and meet my person, which is so cute. It's like, even if I just get to feel that feeling for, like, 5 more years or 10 more years, that's so cute to wake up and be
Yeah.
like, "Today could
Oh.
be I could remember this day forever as being this so special day." So, if you're listening, I would recommend that you get into that vibration, not get too attached to outcomes because I just learned how quickly you could get out of that surrender if you just, like,
Mm,
don't tap into your divine knowing of timing. Yeah.
mm, so real. And despite that, we're gonna get out of the surrender because we are humans. Our ego, she's along for the ride. Do you visual Man, I know we're already like 13 minutes over our goal.
Sorry for
Whatever.
chatting. Sorry for loving
Sorry for
talking.
chat.
Sorry for being euphoric about connecting with our friend.
You know what? We're probably not quite at 30 minutes past the intro. My question is, do you visualize your ego in a certain way? Like when
I
you think about the different aspects of you, or do you?
I don't. Do you? Wait,
Oh,
why don't you share how you're viewing it? Maybe I'll be
okay.
inspired to how I
Okay.
think of it.
I
But
love it.
I don't think I do.
So how we were talking earlier about like IFS, I experienced this not through IFS therapy, but just it was such a cute course called Soul Discovery. I did it twice.
Sure.
And she walks you through the different aspects of yourself and she does them as the will or the ego. I think she calls it the will because ego has such a bad rap of like
Totally.
must banish all hell.
Good,
Purest
because ego is very important and I'm kind of like
yeah.
mad at everyone hating ego. So go off,
She's
Will.
a slay. Yeah. Kate Simmons, love her.
Love her.
So the will or ego, emotional body, mental body, spiritual body, inner child. How many was that? Did I say physical body? I probably hit all of them. But she does this beautiful meditation at the beginning, and then you spend a week on each one and just your
Mhm.
experience with them and how to tune in and ask what they need and how they're coming up and how they communicate with you. And then one at the very end. And so I just got to see myself in this meditation differently. And my ego is a bad gal in leather, full leather, mind you.
Oh my gosh,
And
queen.
she's a Bratz doll and she's ornery and she's the part of me that's like, boom, like,
Like,
let's
just
go.
wild,
I'm
yeah.
wild. Yes. And I love her. I love her. And I never really did. I always thought it was just like this chaotic side of me that always wanted to come out and drink too much. And then I became friends with her and I'm like, girl, like get in the passenger seat. Let's
Yeah,
go,
like,
girl.
you're very integral here.
Yes. Yeah.
Cute.
So they all have different, like my spiritual self, she's glowing and wearing a white dress, like very, very typical. I
Very
was kind of
that.
like, come on, give me something better.
No,
No.
literally.
Some girl came up and was like, mine had tentacles. I was like, mine was so weak.
So, like, I'm gonna lie now. I'm gonna lie.
One eye.
Mine was 30 feet tall.
My inner child must have been so cute. But anyways, I use that now and I haven't in a while, but very regularly I'll be like, okay, inner child, what do you need? Or physical body, what do you need? And they always give me the answers.
I wanna take this course. I should probably take a course before I make a course, you know? You know what? I
Take
do
at
actually have
least one.
a literally. That's my defined human design. I've never thought to consider what anyone's ever done.
Is that
Influence?
yeah.
No. Wait,
Yours is all
I have
defined.
a really interesting thought though. So I wrote a note right before we got on that just said, "You're a Bratz and I'm a Barbie. Discuss." I don't have, like, any other notes.
Discuss. True.
You know what's so interesting, though? I'm kinda gagged at the synchronicity because I think my ego personified is literally, like,
It's
Barbie, and I'm,
Barbie.
like, very attached to it, but it's more specifically
So cute.
the what I present, which I'm actually kind of unwinding now, is, like,
Hmm.
I'm so capable in so many ways, and I'm very polished, and I
I
don't
do
even care if I'm
everything.
relatable because I don't need to be relatable. I will
Mhm.
be whatever you like, whatever you're really into, let me be the polished version of that and come and always be calm and everything is fine. So it's like,
Mm.
I mean, I will never dismiss Barbie Kelsey at all. I love
You
her.
never can.
That's ma-
I'd be so angry.
it's just that's what I'm like. I don't on the record, anyone listening to this ever in the history of time, even if it's very far from 11 I love that part of me, and I d have no desire to, like, try to perform, like, sloppiness or something, it's just, like, not that doesn't resonate, but I do think that's, like, that little bit of nuance where, like,
Mm.
maybe we add in, like, vulnerable Barbie and, like, silly, sleepy Barbie with no makeup
Mhm.
and gross PJs Barbie, like, some of those could probably be integrated, so I'm like, that's just a funny thing that I
Aw.
randomly
Yeah.
wrote that with, like we did not outline an episode,
Love.
as you could probably tell.
We don't outline shiz.
This is gonna be so fun. If
This is so fun.
please, guys, we're gonna have merch with our silly it's like Bratz and Barbie shiz or something.
Yes.
Is that
Bratz and
something?
Barbie shiz.
Alright,
You
we'll
know
work
what's
on
funny?
that.
I love that you wrote that note when you were talking about your bun earlier. I was thinking about my childhood and how I would ask for Megan's hairdo. Megan was one of the, like, 5 most iconic Bratz dolls.
Work. I wish we, like, knew how to edit because I wanna put her up so bad, but I don't know how to do that. Google,
I might figure it out for this.
if it's up, it was Ashley and not I promise.
It wasn't Kelsey. It was Bratz, not
I'm
Barbie.
many things, but not an editor. Yeah, that's like a actually really cool takeaway. Just like maybe for all of you listening, like, is there some little piece of your ego personified or your child kind of impulse that can
Mm,
help reflect to you some piece of your ego talking to you, which we love. Again,
we love.
we love. We're
What are
not
they
trying to kill
saying?
ego,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
also like just sit with ego. I love it. I'm gonna
I
go
love it.
Google Megan Bradstall for sure.
I'll send you the hairstyle.
So excited. Guys, hope you're seeing this on the screen right now. If not, who needs
Right
to be
here.
perfect? Insert there.
Insert. Bam. LOL
Just
if
fun.
it
If
doesn't
you
get
listen this
added.
long, you deserve free merch, so comment your address.
Comment #free merch and we'll hurry and cook something up.
Comment. I literally grew out like Barbie hair listening to this.
We can go to a ceramic class and just, like, draw on a coffee mug and just make a one-off merch for someone.
Done. If you listen to all this, I will give you actually, I don't know, we might blow up. I can't make promises, but
Yeah.
if you're like the first listener that listen to this, you get free ceramics and merch. So thanks for listening. Take care, everyone. Love, light,
Love.
happiness. See you next time on Parallel Paths.
Yay. See you next time.